Welcome to Aracor, the platform for running your deal. Aracor operates around the concept of projects, where each project is associated with a deal or some other legal matter. As you can see here, I have a number of different deals that I'm operating in the platform, each with its own team and set of documents that are attached to it. Every deal in Aracor connects to an external data source, whether that's a cloud drive, a VDR, so that you can pull in your deal documents. This way, Aracor is the intelligence layer that plugs into wherever your deal team is operating. Here is our deal room. We're connected to an external SharePoint folder so that whatever directory is relevant to this deal is also plugged into Aracor. Any changes to files added or removed there will be reflected in Aracor. Aracor also organizes your documents for you. So no matter how the source folders and files are organized, we'll group them into some reasonable categories, determine the file types, and also run versioning across your files. Let's take this SPA as an example. Aracor identified this as the latest version of this file, but it also identified 8 other versions. These could live anywhere in the connected drive and could be named or dated in any way. We look at the actual contents of the file, red lines, comments, back and forth, to build out this version history, and ultimately determine that this signed PDF is the latest version. Now that we have our data room connected, we can start running queries against it. Aracor Partner is the general conversational interface and is the way that you can pull out any details from your deal room. We can summarize information, ask to extract details, whether it's the same fields across many contracts, or even run financial calculations like waterfall calculations across the deal. Let's run a simple example. I'll ask Aracor to find the key parties of this deal. As you can see here, Aracor looked through our documents and found the relevant information. Every statement of fact that Aracor returns is always grounded in citations. This is a belief that we hold extremely strongly at Aracor, which is that no statement should come without a citation. It is almost worse for us to provide a statement of fact with no citation attached, because now someone has to go and look for that piece of information rather than having the proof right in front of them. In this conversation, I asked Aracor to run a waterfall calculation for the deal. As you can see here, Aracor pulled out the relevant information that it needs to run that calculation. Whether it's looking at a summary of the deal, financial models, that SPA we saw earlier, the cap tables, every piece of data is cited to the line or to the cell in Excel spreadsheets. We determine the formulas that will be used, and ultimately, Aracor runs that calculation in code in the back end so you can be sure that the results are accurate. Aracor produced a summary PDF that can be shared, which includes graphics as well. Finally, I requested an Excel file so that I could look into the model myself and maybe make some tweaks. Here, Aracor returned that waterfall calculation. I could download this and inspect the functions and make any changes that I want to the underlying logic. This conversation has also been shared with everyone in the project. That means that everyone who's involved in Project Atlas Grid can take a look at the exercise I ran, fork this conversation, and continue it on their own. Ask more questions, go into more depth, take it in a completely different direction, all with the base calculation and an exercise that was run here originally. Aracor can also query the web as part of an analysis, and we can also use skills to encode how our organization works and ensure that the most junior analyst or senior member of your team are operating using the same principles and the same methods, whether that's something simple like reviewing an NDA or a more complex method around how you prefer to run analyses or calculations across the deal room. So that's how Aracor Partner can be your conversational interface into the deal room. Anyone on the deal team, whether they're finance, legal, ops, or other, can quickly jump in and get summaries, extract information, or even run complex calculations with the latest state of the deal room.